What are you doing there, Brett?
Hey, Ange. We're cutting some stuff up in the kitchen today.
So, oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. No more desserts for us.
That's right. So what are we going to do this week?
So we're going to be making mushroom burgers.
Yeah.
Or mushrooms and a lot of other stuff, kind of veggie burgers.
Yeah.
I'm a big meat eater myself, so I'm a little skeptic as how this is going to turn out.
Wow.
I'm super impressed with this. A lot of what Angela's made in the past, like bean burgers and other things that we've had. She used to be a vegetarian, as a matter of fact. You know, a lot of that food has turned out really good, and so I'm willing to give it a good
Except those vegan hot dogs, man.
Those vegan hot dogs that we had, in particular, were nasty. They smell like the floor of an Ace Hardware.
We started dating. I was actually a vegetarian, and you were not scared to try vegetarian food with me.
No.
You threw yourself in full speed, and most of it is really good.
Right, because as long as you season food enough, you know, you can eat tofu that can taste amazing. It doesn't have to be meat to like taste good. You know, you can add flavor to just like any sock. There's
so many more options on the table. So when I was a vegetarian, it was like I had to kind of learn how to make some stuff at home because there were some brands like Morningstar and Corn, but now there's like Beyond and Impossible, and like plant-based food is taking over. We actually tried one of those recently, and as somebody who has probably had more veggie burgers than the average bear, I would say that it wasn't my favorite veggie burger I've ever had, and it was super expensive.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, $12, $13 a pound. So pretty disgusting from a price perspective. It did not end up tasting like meat in my opinion, which was interesting. But I thought it was still like a good burger in my opinion. Like you could make it taste really good. It was a good substitute. If I was just trying to replace it exactly one for one with meat, I don't think that was the case. You know, this isn't necessarily a Beyond Burger review, but you know, that was just my 2 cents on it.
Now today, instead of $6 a burger, we're attempting to make burgers for, I would say with the mushrooms and the beets and everything, maybe right around $1 a burger.
Wow, killing it.
Maybe $1.50, we'll say, if we want to, you know, really estimate on the high end, just depending. Obviously, that's a small fraction of the price. And so, because Brett hasn't had as many veggie burgers, I'm really excited to see your reaction to this.
Yeah.
Because
Me too.
I know I'll like it. At home, we like to cook plant-based quite a bit, and so I'm excited to see, since you haven't had a ton besides my black bean burgers, how you like a mushroom burger. And because I didn't, so these are actually from our mushroom empanadas that we made, which turned out really, really good. And
yeah, the empanadas we made were great.
Yeah, and we didn't quite have enough leftovers, so I'm gonna add in a beet as well.
Okay, yeah. So there's a couple things going on here. Yeah, mushrooms. We got like some sunflower seeds. We got some dill. It looks like some spices.
Yeah. So and we also have some breadcrumbs. We have some oats, and we have spices. So I put in paprika, onion powder, and garlic salt and black pepper just to start, and then as we go we'll kind of season to taste. That's a pretty good baseline for a good veggie burger. Okay. And then similar to our last video, we have our lovely spring onion, but this one's red. We'll use the top half in our burger, and then we're going to do the bottom half caramelized on the salad that the burger is going on.
Using the whole plant of this guy.
Make a little kind of simple salad. And then we're going to put the burger right on top of it, and people might be like, whoa, I like a bun with my burger. I actually grew up in a household that we just didn't really eat buns. So for me, this is like a more natural way to eat a burger, even if it's like meat. Like even if we made a beef burger growing up, I would probably toss it on a salad.
I mean, I'm a big burger person, and I like myself a bun, and you know, we'll see how this goes. There's a place that we go down to in Florida. There's a restaurant that we tried a couple times, and they do like fresh caught fish on top of like this salad. So I think we're going to try and emulate that particular situation, because it's not like I'm going to take a salad and I'm just going to drop a veggie burger on it. That sounds like way too healthy for me. We're trying to be healthy, but like that's just healthy overload, right? I think we're going to try and do like more of like it's going to be a fancy dressed salad. There's going to be a sauce along with it. You know, it's going to be like a little bad for you too at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're just going to keep it a little bit real and tasty.
It's all about balance for sure. And then since in the summer when I think about cooking out and making burgers, I always think of having a side of sweet corn. We live in the Midwest. It is already time to get your sweet corn. And I love it. I love the stuff. I could eat it every single day.
And so we've gotten over being scarred from the last corn video that we did.
It also kind of makes me want to throw up a little bit.
We're going to give this guy a try. And we know that street corn style is one of our favorite ways to eat corn.
All right, I think at this point we are pretty much ready to get started here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start sauteing our mushrooms and our onion. And then we will check back in with you guys as we go to update you on our progress.
So Ange and I are cutting up an onion here that's going to go on the burger itself at the end or toward the salad, part of that mixture. And I'm actually preparing a carrot, which I'm shaving in a cheese grater. If you haven't done this before, it's a real quick way to get this taken care of and not have to worry about chopping it up and having chunks of carrot. When Ange and I moved to Chicago originally, a lot of interesting places she made me try. One of which was this place that was open 24 hours a day. And turns out they had the best equivalent of like a Shamrock Shake.
Yeah.
From like McDonald's. Like this was like real good ice cream, like real
Pick Me
mint
Up
flavor.
Cafe on Clark Street in Wrigleyville. They make pizzadillas too, which is basically like a quesadilla, but then a pizza on top.
Yeah, that was super good. There was some other sandwich that I used to get.
The barbecue Satan sandwich.
Satan sandwich.
So good.
Yeah, super good. Didn't reheat well, but it was fantastic when they made it.
And a lot of times we would go and we would order that and split it and then maybe get like a shake or an appetizer. And that was more than enough food. Very generous serving. That was kind of when we realized that even a lot of times now when we moved back to Chicago, we gravitate towards going to those same places because they just make super good food. And sometimes if you go to like, a chain restaurant or your neighborhood eatery and you order a burger, like it's overcooked and it's not well seasoned.
Right.
But if you go and you order a veggie burger at one of these places, like they can't really overcook it unless they burn it because that's just not how vegetables work.
Right.
And it's super flavorful.
And they just try harder, right? They just try a little bit harder to make the food better. And because they need to. Losing fingers over here. Again, talking about our knife skills from the other day. But, right, if you're just laying on, like, I'm just going to be a hamburger place, then they just slap a piece of meat on a grill, and you don't know where that meat came from. It was probably the cheapest place they could find it. And that's it. That's all you get.
Right.
Maybe they salt and pepper it if you're lucky. Or if you go to some, like, fancier burger place, then they just, like, charge you a lot more for basically the same process. Maybe a little bit better seasoning. And maybe a little bit better quality meat. So...
Maybe, but sometimes they trick you into think you're getting better quality, and really...
But there's no hiding when you like have bland vegetables, right? Like you're not going to go back for seconds on that, right? If it's no good. All right, guys, we're back, and I didn't do my magic wave thing this time, so things are a little bit different.
Things are weird
So
today.
we are actually skipping ahead a little bit, and we'll come back to the other burger stuff. But we're going to make our salad while that's kind of frying.
Yeah, so all we're doing over there is we're just caramelizing some onions. Basically, throw them on a medium-low heat. Let them go. They're good. And then saute up some mushrooms. So again, that's pretty easy. They're going to do their thing. While they're doing their thing, we're going to throw together a salad. So I think sometimes people are kind of overwhelmed by making a salad at home. And the recommendation I've always kind of had is get your greens, get, 2 to 3 ingredients to go with it, and you have a salad. It doesn't have to be so complicated.
Right. I mean, it's delicious when it is complicated, like a Cobb salad that has like all kinds of stuff in it, eggs and ham and all kinds of good stuff. But it can be as simple as like you drop in a few little tomatoes if you like tomatoes, cucumber, and maybe just lettuce and salad dressing. I'm just ripping up my lettuce. I like a little bit more shredded than how the leaves come.
What I did here was I had some extra green onions, so I thought why not just toss them in with the salad.
Sure.
So that'll be a nice little spring bite to the salad there. You have your lovely
carrots, so we're
grated.
Just a little bit more.
And then here we have a beet. So I boiled this, and by boiling it, the really great thing is the skin will then just kind of rub right off here.
You get a little bit more friction with the paper towel, and the skin just wants to kind of like fall over.
Yeah, so
it's still warm.
It's really hard to see because it's all the same color, but basically you can tell in person because the skin just kind of flakes right up, and you're left with beet interior that we all really appreciate, or I do at least. Some people don't like beets.
I didn't used to like beets as a kid either. I didn't start liking them really until I tried pickling them one time. And then they were like a little tangy, they were a little sweet at the same time. That changed the game completely for me.
Pickled beets are good. I also just love a good boiled beet. You can steam them. Any of that will work kind of just the same way. And I think I kind of started liking beets because of that cartoon Doug.
Oh yeah?
Doug Funny.
Doug Funny.
Because his favorite band was the Beets. So all I'm going to do here is kind of thinly slice it. That's kind of how I like it on my salads. And by boiling it, we made it nice and soft. So although it's not pickled, I think some people have a hard time with raw beets because they're super earthy and very hard to chew. I even also like beets in my juice. I don't mind that they kind of add that earthiness.
Like that beet's still a steaming, so. Nice.
Yeah, so I get to cut it.
Angela has fire fingers from working at
Mancino's,
which is a grinder, or depending on where you live, a hoagie style eatery.
Hoagies and grinders.
This is looking good.
So Brett, were you a salad eater as a kid?
No, I didn't like salad at all as a kid.
I actually loved salad as a kid. So when I was younger, every time I went out to a restaurant with my family, I think I was the cheapest kid to feed because I never wanted to order off of the kids menu. I just wanted 2 sides, one of which was a baked potato with butter and sour cream, and the other one which was a side salad with blue cheese dressing. So my dad would actually make most of my sisters would usually order something that came with 2 sides. So he's like, you only need 1 side, and then you can each give Angela 1 side. So like I basically ate for free for 14 years of my life.
Yeah, you were the good kid, right?
I guess. I was the cheap kid.
Cheap kid. All right, so these are looking really good. We got some nice colors going on here in the bowl. We got some bright green from the onions and the leafy lettuce. We got some bright orange from the carrots, and these beets look fantastic with the vibrant red color that they have. All right, guys, we're back, and we're at a different stage now because this recipe was not complicated enough.
So actually, though, this recipe has felt pretty easy to me
It
so
has.
far.
It's pretty quick. Yeah, all we did was cut stuff up so far, right?
Yeah, we've just been kind of, I think the great thing about a recipe that has a couple stages is like while something's cooking, you can easily be prepping the salad, right?
Yeah, or you can do a lot of the stuff in advance. Like if we just like tossed the salad before and we just had it, great. That's all extra.
Right.
That's just what we chose to do, right? You could put on top of anything. Again, you could put it on a bun. Real easy.
Weird. Who would do that?
like a sane person, right?
All right, I'm insane in the membrane. Now we're just gonna toss everything we need for the veggie burgers into our trusty blender. I think this has probably made as many appearances so far in our cooking channel as we have.
Yep.
We literally use this every single day. So it's just gonna be the beets, and then Brett, do you want to grab the mushrooms for me?
Yeah, we'll see how many of them I can make in there in one go.
Yeah, yesterday was about half the pan.
Yeah,
it
was pretty tight. Wow.
Woo, magician.
Magic. All right, so try and get as many in here as I
man,
can.
So far he's at 100%. Can he do it, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh man, victory! All right, it's all over.
Okay, so we got 1 beet in there, and then we actually have 6 ounces or so of mushrooms. And then we're going to put in our lovely green onions that I already kind of just diced to help the blender out a bit. And then everything else, so our breadcrumbs, our dill, our oats. This is feeling a little dry to me. Typically for a veggie burger, a lot of times you have to put an egg or something in it. We're going to see how it goes, and then I think potentially I'll add a little bit of water if I need to as a binding agent just to help make sure we're forming little patties instead of like dry dough balls. Now that our mixture is all blended up, we are actually almost done. So we're just going to form some patties. We're going to put it right on our pan that we already greased, and then we will just brush a little bit of avocado oil right on top to make sure that they brown. And then we're going to put them in the oven.
Kind of like mini burgers, which is perfect for the way that we're serving them out.
And then the nice thing is when you make miniature ones, you can always put, if you have people over, they can pick 1 or 2 just depending on how hungry they are, or 3 or 4 or 5.
Knowing me, yeah.
It's like we're going to get about 6 small-ish patties out of this. And I would say if we could get 4 pretty generous sized patties. Trying to keep them not super thin, but maybe about a ½ inch thick or so. This will help cook them evenly on both sides as well as in the middle. If you have them too thick, then the middle is going to stay kind of doughy. And too thin, it'll just get a little too crispy. So about that ½ inch is what I like to target.
But they are red. They do look like ground round. So
surprisingly, I wasn't even necessarily.
We're coming after you, Beyond Burger.
Going for that, yeah.
2 vegetables and no weird chemical.
Now that we got our patties formed, what we're going to do is we're just going to drizzle some oil right on top of them. I made Brett the designated drizzler because I go a little heavy-handed, and then I'm just going to go ahead and brush that oil around just to make sure they get nice and crispy on top. We actually snuck some taste of this batter, and it is actually tasting really, really good.
I agree. I think it tastes fantastic. I think the dill really shows through. I think the onion that we added into it really makes a big difference as well. It makes it taste like a real kind of a burger flavor, right? Not that I'm trying to make this look like a meat burger by any means, because it is what it is, right? But
it is delicious,
it is pretty good already.
All right, so we can go ahead and pop these in the oven, and we will bake them for about 10 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and flip them and bake them for another 10. So that's 20 minutes in total at 400 degrees.
Looking good.
Now that the burgers are cooking, we're going to let those go, and we're going to, in the meantime, make a Chipotle Aioli to go with the salad. And we also put the corn on, so that's just boiling. We didn't think, that's pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yeah, boil corn and it's done, right?
Yeah. So Brett, do you want to kind of talk through what you're going to do for this aioli?
Yeah, so aioli is a combination of, really it's eggs and oil and garlic, and then we're adding in some extra things. I like to add a little bit of lemon juice, and then we're adding in like a little bit of chipotle also to give it a little bit of a kick. So we're going to just chop up some garlic here, and we're going to do a special technique with the garlic. So I'm going to chop it kind of fine, as fine as I can get it, and then we're actually going to mix it with some salt. And when we mix it with the salt, and then we cut it up and we smear it together on the cutting board. And after like a minute or so, you end up with a nice little kind of a more pasty technique rather than having like chunks of garlic all throughout. So you can see it's already kind of softening up a little bit.
So it's really starting to kind of smear there.
Right, yeah, so it's really soft. I mean, it's lost a lot of moisture. The board's a lot wetter. Right, a lot of the salt has been absorbed into it. And, right, we're just ready to go to town here. So it doesn't...
Flavor Town? Is that where we're going?
I think we're going to Flavor Town. So I'm going to add this right into the bowl here. This is a lot of garlic. I did 2 cloves here.
Never enough.
Yeah, for Angela, there's never enough garlic. We got a little bit of mayonnaise here.
All right.
Drop about 2 of those guys in there, and then I'll mix it up a little bit, and then we'll add our...
With the cutest whisk ever, by the way.
Yeah, you got to have a tiny whisk. Tiny whisk is a clear sign of a professional chef in the kitchen.
We're just going to completely forget that I almost chopped all my fingers off earlier. We're going to move me back into the professional chef category.
Right.
I like it.
It's really coming together. So we didn't add too much lemon juice. It's not too runny. It's just a little shiny now, which is nice. And then, add some chipotle powder in here.
And I will say, if you are somebody who is just starting out to cook, I know when I was starting out to cook, I didn't necessarily have all these fancy schmancy spices. So I would start basic with like salt and pepper on most stuff. And then slowly, for something like this, I would add chipotle powder to my mix. Now it's kind of nice because we've done that over time. So when we need spices, we don't need them all at once. We really just need to buy them here and there to replace what we've run out of. And that is so much less intimidating than having to go out and buy like 20 spices because they can be kind of pricey.
Add like just a little bit more in there. So we'll give it some, so we can really taste it. Spicy good garlic and salty garlic.
So, you want a little bit more in there?
I love sauce. We can add as much as you want, yeah. We can add as much as you want, yeah.
I'm going all the way to Flavor Town. I got my ticket now.
Bring on the train. Bring on the train. Are you bringing the train? What's going on? All right, guys, we did it.
I am really excited about this. So the burgers turned out fantastic.
Right. I mean, even from like right here, you can't even tell that they are veggie burgers. They like browned up really well when we baked them. And I'm super impressed.
So here we have our lettuce, our beets, and green onions and carrots to make our little bed of salad. Then we layered on 2 veggie burgers, and then we made our caramelized onions. Then we put our nice chipotle mayo right on top.
Yep. So that, nice plop of chipotle mayo.
That's right.
Per Angela. So the corn, we boiled it for, once it's at a rolling boil, you keep it up there for about 10 minutes and it's done. We like to salt the water in advance so it helps get some of the extra flavor into the corn. Then we actually brush some mayonnaise on, and then we pour some salt as we rotate it, and then pour some chili powder on it. And then, we've had this, 50 times that we've made it in the last year. We just keep going back to it.
Well, in my opinion, that's enough talking, and I am ready to try a bite of this. So I'm gonna get some salad, I'm gonna get some of the mayo, and a good piece of the burger.
That's really good.
Wow.
I'm super impressed with this. I mean,
So-
I can tell it's not a burger because it's like a little tacky, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can get a little bit of the nuts, I can get a little bit of all the ingredients that we had in there, but it's all coming together. Again, the dill's still popping.
But it's almost more what I would want with a salad anyways.
Yeah.
Versus a burger. It actually goes really well. And the Chipotle mayo is super good because it's kind of smoky.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually almost tastes like we put a little bit of bacon on it, even though we didn't.
Right. I mean, but everything is like really good. It's a good combo.
That's so good. And honestly, if you wanted to put it on a bun and make a normal burger, that would be fantastic. If you eat cheese, it'd be really good with like a smoked Gouda.
Mm-hmm.
And I would make this burger again. That is, in my opinion, better than the plant-based burgers currently on the market that try to taste like real meat.
I agree. If I had these side by side, which maybe someday we will, I would say this is better. And so are we digging into the corn here too?
Oh yeah, we should.
Put that fork down before we finish the plate.
Because we gotta redeem corn, man. I love corn, and last time I had it, it was not good.
All right, I'm just gonna get all over my face.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Well, I knew this would be good.
Nice and juicy. Corn, you've made it back into our lives. And I'm really happy about it because it's my favorite way to eat corn. Putting mayo on corn like a year ago would have been like the craziest thing I've ever heard of. But I'm really glad that I got into this world because it's super good.
Okay, so final thoughts here. I would actually recommend making all of this food. This was delicious.
This whole meal is
fantastic.
One of the best things we've had in the last several weeks.
And I would say
eating here or out to dinner.
Yeah, and actually, that's another thing I was going to bring up. Even compared to some of the places we've gone out to dinner, this is better. So this is a prime example of make food in your own kitchen. You save a bunch of money, and it's even better.
Corn in season, super cheap. Most of these vegetables in season in the summer, very cheap.
And I would say if you're a beginner chef, you can definitely do this. This is one of the easiest recipes we've posted. I know it seemed like there were a lot of components, but if you don't want to make a salad, buy a bag of tossed salad at the grocery store, and you're done. You don't have to worry about peeling carrots or, chopping a beet up. It can be super simple. The burger patties were actually really easy. It was basically cook mushrooms. Once mushrooms are cooked, throw everything in a food processor and your patty shape, and then you just make little globs, pop them in the oven for 20 minutes. So that was super easy. The aioli was literally 3 ingredients.
And what, you could make that stuff up, like the paste. I mean, you could let that out. You could put that in the fridge. You could just let it sit out. You don't have to do it all at the same time. You can do it in stages too.
Right, and I mean, the other beautiful thing we've talked about is we like to buy stuff in bulk. We like to make food in bulk. And this would actually be a great recipe that if you were already cooking up mushrooms, cook up a bunch of mushrooms, cook up, a couple more beets, and then when you go to make the patties, you've already done the hard work of the food processor. You can make 20 burger patties, and then you can throw them in the freezer and pop them out and bake them whenever you need one.
This would be great frozen too, yeah. Meal prep, very easy with this one. I mean, you can make it in bulk, right? You plate it up with anything, put it on a bun for the bun-loving community.
Yeah, some of you, I guess.
Yeah, and, I think this is a huge win. It's 2 thumbs up for me.
2 thumbs up for me too.
In fact, I'm going to eat it right now. So we're going to wrap this up.
So we're going to get out of here. So thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. We hope that you tune in each and every week. And if you like our videos, hit that subscribe button down below. And make sure you leave a like because this was probably the best thing we've made in a long time. So
that's right. Yeah, and if you want to give it a try, please leave a comment. We'd love to hear anything from you guys. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.